Ahoy friends, welcome to Building Centennial. This is a project to build a Chamberlain Alpha dory from John Gardner's The Dory book. Illustrations by Sam Manning. Tonight we're going to be fitting the number 3 plank on the starboard side and see how far we get. Maybe we'll get to nailing it on even. Alright, let's get out there and get to it. Alright, so I want this to lay nice and flat up against the transom here. So I want to take down this edge a little bit to put that plank. That's actually quite a bit better right there. Yeah, so that's pretty good here. You can see this is laying up against there pretty closely, and when this gets riveted and pulled in, it'll close that little gap there. So that's looking pretty good. Now, have a look up front here, which I think is going to need a little finishing as well. Yeah, so here's the stem here. You can see there's a saw mark from where the stem was cut, and it's pretty rough right in here. So I'm not sure if this plank is going to go quite that high, but we're going to come close to it, so let's try and clean that area up. So I'll just use the same little low angle block plane. I'm thinking maybe I could even get in there with the rebate plane. nice thing about this is it cuts to exactly the width of the sole of the plane, so you can get into tight spaces. I'm holding this plane parallel with the edge of the plank below it. So the plane is running at the same angle that the plank will. So it's looking a little bit smoother. The plank wasn't really laying in there too bad anyway, so I'll take a little bit more off, I think, and try at the back of this. Okay, so undo the clamp on the camera, and yeah, so you can see how that's see if I can get the camera to focus. There we go. You can see how it's laying in there pretty good now. Nail should pull that in, and there actually is a little bit of the saw cut left, but that's not an issue. Yeah, so the plank will get pulled down to about there when it gets nailed in place. So you can see it's a pretty good fit on that stem. Close enough anyway. Yeah, so we're doing pretty good along here. I think I want to make up a wedge to go in here. Just take up that little bit of space between the plank and the frame. And I'll make one up for the other side at the same time. Might even just be able to use a cedar shingle. We'll see. See if it'll fit in there. Yeah, anyway, so yeah, let's do that. So what I'm doing is I'm cutting it and then checking the bevel. So it's coming through on the other side, so I've got it thin enough, and it's pretty tight up against over here. So it's looking like a pretty good angle. I'll just cut this into two, and I'll have the two little bits of blocking to fit in there, and I'll put them in and then trim them once they're in. Alright, so there's the blocking there. And yeah, we should be about ready to fasten this plank on. Put some nails in. So I'll get out the drill, get out the right size drill bits, and there's the ring nails right there. We'll be ready to go, ready to roll. Alright, looking pretty good here. Then we got the plank laid in. Yeah, just make sure you get the other side of the stem trimmed to how you want that before you nail this plank on. Because once this one's on, it really it can get in the way of moving a plane on the other side. I mean, of course you're going to trim it off and then plane it to smooth, so you could get it done, but just, you know, it's good to get it as close as you can before you put any planks on. And yeah, we're ready to roll here. So what I'm going to end up doing is putting two nails through the end of this plank. You can see how skinny it is up here. But I'm only going to put in one nail now because the next nail is going to go in through the garboard plank and catch the top edge of this and pull that in. So I'm going to put a nail in right here that's going to go through this plank and through the top edge of this number 2 plank and pull that in that way. Into the yoke there. Grab a backing block. Wow, mosquitoes are out tonight. That's crazy. It's kind of a cool evening as well. Just check my height once more. It hasn't moved, so that's good. Alright. And you can see when that went in, it pulled that plank down right tight with the stem. So you can see that's a nice tight fit there. And yeah, so that nail will do it for this part of this plank. And then, like I say, another nail will go through it further up. And we'll get rivets in here which will hold this down. So yeah, these planks are just so narrow up here. Pretty wild. And let me give that. Just trying, there we go. Down nice and tight now. Alright. So that's the start of it. Now we just gotta work our way down the boat. Make sure we got the plank where it's gonna end up before we put too many nails in. Yeah, so I think I'll go fasten the transom. Make sure the transom's where we want it to be. yeah, that looks pretty good. Lamp is apparently not working. Yeah, it's pretty good there. So yeah, I think we can start fastening these. What I'm trying to do is, this plank is overlapping a bit. So I'm kind of taking the distance that it's overlapping and setting the drill up by that amount. And make sure I'm going to hit the frame. Make sure I'm going to go through the lap below, number 2 lap. That felt like it went in the right spot. Nice. That's good. Yeah, this one's not lapping over by a lot, so I can go pretty close to the edge. Go in at the angle of the plank. I'm gonna angle it up a little bit steeper than the plank just to make sure I touch the corner of that of the oak there. Okay, yeah, so that drew in pretty good. Okay. So let me swap this clamp to this station. Probably what I'll do is snag a kickstick and see if I can get that in there as well, just to help tighten it up a bit. This board right here is in the way for bracing off this board, which is what I usually am able to do. Alright, I think I can just, no, not without knocking over the camera. Ugh. This board's just the perfect spot. So now I can pick this board up a bit. Yeah, I think I can. Set it on the end of this rudder. Gotcha. Nice. Alright, so that's in where it's got to be now. Looks like I don't even need the clamp at this point. It's just in there nice and tight. Transom's still in an okay spot, and it looks like this is going to pull in good. So yeah, you just want to kind of keep your eye on all the different parts of the boat as you're attaching these strakes, just to make sure you're going to end up in the right spot when you get down to the end of the plank. Got my kickstick brace right in the way where the nail needs to go now. Better. I'll have a feel of how far that's overlapped. It's about overlapped a finger's thickness, so I'll go up a little bit more. And looks like I'm going to hit the frame. I'll go up a little into the frame. Glue. Nice, that settled in pretty good as well. Get this, so I may be able to brace off this plank now. I'm down this far. good. So I'm going to move this down a little bit more. Alright, I'm nice and close, but not directly on the... Yeah, I need to get a little bit further back. Alright, so I can get in there. Now, this is our wedge. Let me grab the camera. This is our wedge frame. Got the little wedgie in it to take up the space. So I want to try and drill straight through that wedge if I can. See how this goes. Looks like the kickstick is getting a bit in the way right here, so I'm going to have to move to the other side of the side of the got him. Alright, let's go in tight. And there's pretty much no overlap here, so I can drill through close to the bottom of the plank. Alright, so I felt the drill go into the spacer. Didn't crack it. Oh, that's good. Yeah, looks pretty good. This is opened up a little bit, but the rivets will take that in. And now we got to get in on the action down at the transom, and we'll have this plank on. Okay, so we got the transom clamped up here. What we'll do is we'll put a nail in line with the transom. We'll angle it upwards to match the angle of the planking and the angle of the transom. But we're not going to angle it in this way, because otherwise the nail won't go directly into the transom. It may pop out. So yeah, I'll put one here, and then we might get one in a little bit lower. We'll see. I'll put one in as high up as I can to start. clamp just fell off, but I've got it started in the hole. So we should be able to hammer this home. Got it. And if you keep the hammer head flush to the wood, you typically won't put too deep of a dent in it, and it'll the wood will be able to bounce back out. I'll put in one more nail down here. I'll catch both this plank and the plank below it. Let me get the nail set to get that one in. That's the other way to not dent the planks. Use that nail set to drive the nail in. And that's kind of what you got to do on these angled nails here. See, they got to go into the plank. You got to kind of keep driving them. Set them below the level of the plank. Oh, that looks good. So yeah, let me grab the camera quick, and you guys can see that came in pretty nice along that top edge. Drove the nails in, and not bad on the inside either. Pretty tight. So yeah, looks good. Really starting to take some shape here. One more plank, like I said, and we've got a boat. So you can see the real graceful curvature of that, those racing dory lines. Alright guys, well thanks so much for stopping by building the Alpha dory. It's all of your support, comments, questions, and likes and subscribes that keep the channel going. So yeah, we'll look forward to bumping into you next episode, and have a great day. See ya.